Welcome to The Explainer. Our whole goal here is to take big ideas, break them down, and make them really clear.
God and Us presents Proclamation to the Nation.
All right, so let's just jump right in. We hear this phrase all the time, right? The fruit of the Spirit. But what are we actually talking about when we say fruit in this context? It's not about apples and oranges, obviously.
Well, to really get to the bottom of it, the source material tells us we've got to go back to the original language, to the Greek.
And that word is karpos. Now, this is the key. Fruit isn't just some nice list of virtues like be patient or be kind. No, it's way more than that. It's the result, the effect, the actual actions that come out of you. It's basically the visible evidence of what's going on inside.
And to really hammer this point home, the whole concept is built around this one simple but honestly super powerful metaphor from the Gospel of Matthew.
This one sentence, this is the foundation for everything else. Seriously. The logic is simple. You can't hide who you really are forever. Sooner or later, your true nature, the kind of tree you are on the inside, is going to show up in what you do, in your fruit. It's a direct connection. You just can't escape it. And the source lays it out in this really clear, black and white way. It's all about what's inside you, your inner treasure. If you've got good stuff in there, good stuff is going to come out. If you've got bad stuff in there, well, you get the picture. It's presented as this almost mathematical equation. What's inside determines what comes out.
And here's where it gets really personal. This quote just nails it. It shows how our words are seen as the #1 piece of evidence for what's going on inside. You know, they're like the first fruit that pops out, showing everyone what kind of tree they're dealing with.
Okay, so if our heart is the tree, how does it even start growing fruit in the first place? Well, the teaching uses another famous story, a parable, to explain how this whole process works and how it can go right or how it can go terribly wrong.
So the setup is pretty straightforward. You've got a farmer just scattering seed. And here's the thing, the seed is always the same. It's always good. What's different is the soil it lands on. And this is all a metaphor, right? It's showing how the exact same message can land on different people and have completely different outcomes. So first up, you've got the path. Think of it like hard, packed down dirt. The source says some hearts are just like that. The message just sits on the surface, it can't get in, and boom, it's gone before it even has a chance. Then you have the rocky ground, and this one's interesting. These are the people who hear the message, and they're so excited it shoots right up, but there's no soil underneath, no depth. So the moment things get tough, the moment the sun comes out, it just withers away, no roots.
All right, soil number 3, the thorns. Now here, the seed actually starts to grow, it puts down some roots, but it's got competition. It's surrounded by all these weeds and thorns, you know, the worries of life, chasing after money, all that stuff. And eventually, those weeds just choke the life right out of it. So, no fruit. And then finally, we get to the good soil. This is the heart that's ready to receive the message. It doesn't just hear it, it lets it sink in deep, grow strong, and the result? An incredible harvest. Just a massive amount of fruit. This is exactly what the whole process is aiming for.
Okay, so that's the individual level, but now the source zooms out. It uses another parable to take this whole idea of seeds and harvests and put it on a massive, almost cosmic scale.
And what's so cool about this parable is how it lays out this entire spiritual drama. The whole world is the field, and you've got 2 different sowers, 2 opposing forces, planting 2 totally different kinds of seeds. And for a while, they just grow together.
So what the story is really getting at is that good and evil are mixed together in the world. You can't always tell them apart just by looking. But, and this is a big but, that's not the end of the story. There's a harvest coming, a time of separation. And at that point, everything gets sorted out based on where it came from, on what kind of seed it was, and it's dealt with for good.
Okay, so we've talked about trees and fruit, seeds and soils. So what's the big takeaway from all of this? What does it actually mean for us, right now? And this is where it all clicks into place. It all comes back to our words. According to this teaching, our words do 2 things at once. First, they're the fruit. They show everyone what's going on in our hearts. But at the exact same time, they're also seeds that we are constantly planting, creating our future and the atmosphere around us. So they're like a diagnosis and a creative force all at once. Pretty wild, right? And this is where it gets super practical. The source points to these everyday phrases we use without even thinking, like the Portuguese word danadinho. People say it to a cute, mischievous kid, but it literally means condemned. Or think about how often we say, I'm dying for a coffee. We're literally speaking death over a simple desire.
The big idea here is that even our throwaway comments, our idle words, they actually matter. They have weight.
And that leads to this final, pretty intense conclusion from the source. The idea is that our speech is never neutral. Every word carries spiritual weight. And in the end, it's our own words that are going to have the final say, justifying us or condemning us.
So when you boil it all down, this isn't just some abstract theological debate. It's about what we're doing every single day with our mouths, which leaves us with a really powerful question to think about, right? A question the source wants us to ask ourselves.